What's up? Dr. William James here. Um, on my way to work. Haven't done a video in a while, but real quickly, I wanted to discuss this Mike Yoba situation. I believe is his name, the black male actor who says he likes trans women. Um, I watched the Breakfast Club interview and saw what he had to say along with the four other males in the video. There were two trans women who are male and another black guy in the video along with Mike Yoba. So you got these four males up there and they were talking about, you know, what women are and what women do when they're males. Um, Sexual realignment does not change your sex. So, you know, taking the penis tissue and reversing it inwardly does not make it function like a vagina. Even if outwardly, aesthetically, it looks like a vagina, it's not a vagina. Like, that's common sense. It's not going to function like a vagina, you know. Males don't have a Bartholin gland like the vagina does. It's called a bulbourethral gland in males. So whether you get sexual realignment or not, a woman could never become a man. A man can never become a woman, even if outwardly you make yourself look like one. That's number one. Secondly, it's totally different because I had this discussion with people, I have this debate with people, and it's really not a debate. When in fact, a man is a man, a woman is a woman. You know, there's XX chromosomes, there's XY chromosomes. We're able to differentiate male from female. Also with the Bartholin gland, the bulbourethral gland, like I said, and you bring up this argument to people, you're like, these trans women, they don't have ovaries. And then you get the argument thrown back at you like, oh, well, what about women who have ovarian cancer and they have to get their ovaries removed or this, that, and the third? That further just promotes how stupid the argument is, because that further proves that trans women aren't real women, because they don't have to go through what real women go through. When you're a man, you're a trans woman, you know off the gate you could never have kids. You could never physically produce children from your body like a real woman could. A woman who has to get that news that they have ovarian cancer, that they have something wrong with their body, or not wrong, but you know what I'm saying. Like, you have something that makes you unable to have kids. That's a totally different experience emotionally and mentally when you get that news, when you have to go through that, the doctor visits, and they let you know that no matter at what age you're informed of that, it's a different experience. Trans women don't have to go through that. You never have that expectation like, oh, I want to be able to push a kid out, or I have a kid, in my belly. You never have to go through that. So you could never be a woman. You're not a woman. A trans woman is a male. So Mike Yoba, I just don't like we got to be real about situations. You saying you're a heterosexual male when you like men is false. And we have to have this discussion like, oh, well, does he have sex with trans women after their realignment, or after their surgery, or is it before? Like, how does that discussion go when he sits down with a trans woman? Like, oh, have you had your surgery yet? What does it look like down there? Like, you have to have that discussion. Are you having that discussion? Like, if you have sex with someone who and you're a male, you have sex with someone who ever had a full developed penis down there, like, past age, what, 5? You know what I'm saying? Like how do we want to do this? Because I know people are going to come with, like, oh, hermaphrodites and stuff like that, or people who are born, non-binary, and that argument, because they were talking about it in the interview. Yeah, but that's chosen at birth. So if you're having sex with someone who just last year, because they're an adult, so just last year, 25, 26, they had a penis last year, but now, they got sexual realignment, so now it's inwardly, now it's a whole. They tell you that you want to, you classify yourself as heterosexual. That person is a male. That person is scientifically male. Male and female are different. Our bone density is different. The way our brain grows is different. There's so many different physical features that are different about us, inwardly and outwardly. You can never scientifically be a male or a female. They can never switch. No matter how much hormone pills you're taking, they could never switch. It's just not the same thing. It's not the same thing. And a real woman doesn't have to take pills or get surgery to be considered a woman. That's a fact. A real man doesn't have to take pills or get surgery to be a real man. That's a fact. So all of this stuff about people, like, oh, I was assigned this, or they were assigned the wrong sex. No, that's who they are. That's how they were born. And then they chose to try to change it physically. Try, because you can't actually change that. It just can't happen. Now, I'll sit down with anyone and have this discussion. Then you have the discussion with someone like Bruce Jenner, now known as Caitlyn Jenner. This dude is a male. You have some people out there who call him or her and a female. He's not a female. And I just think it's disingenuous to allow someone to call himself, well, he can call himself whatever he wants, that too. But I don't have to call him it. He is a he. Bruce Jenner, I don't care if he changes his name to Caitlyn Jenner. Caitlyn Jenner, he lived 65 years of his life as a white male, having white male privilege, which is different than the privilege of a white woman. Everything is different when you're a male, and factoring in race. So life expectancy is different, suicide rates, all of these different things are variables that are factored in. He lived 65 years of his life as a white male. And then when he felt like it, after being married like 3 times, having like 10 kids, he felt like it. He wanted to try to change his sex, or, change his gender, transgender. And people bought it and called him brave. There's nothing brave about it. It's actually disgusting that he can do something like that and get an award for it. Think about what he had to put his ex-wives through. If you really were living like that your entire life, thinking like, oh, I'm really not, a man, I'm really not. Why? You lied. You got married and put them through hell. I can't even imagine being married to a woman and, it doesn't work out. We get a divorce, then years later, she I never felt like a woman. She comes out like, oh, I never felt like a woman. I always felt like a male. I'm just going to be mad at that person wasted my time. Especially if we had kids and brought kids into the situation. Like, there's nothing honorable about that. You're playing with other people's life. So if you felt that inside, you don't have to bring other people into it and live a lie like that. You live your life on your own. So all of this stuff about, you know, sexual orientation and male and female, I just wanted to get this out the way. Look, you're a man, you're stuck being a male. You can't just switch and be, you know, a female just because you got surgery. If you're a female, you can't just switch to a male because you got surgery. You are that. Scientifically, you are that. Now, as far as roles, if you want to take on a different role in society and try to, that's a different discussion. But you cannot change scientifically what you are. That's just not how it works. And if you are a male who is attracted to other males, you are homosexual. If you want to be, that's up to you. If you are a male who's attracted to women, you are heterosexual. Words have meaning. We can't play games with terms. They were on there talking about, oh, you're a cis if you like the opposite sex, and look, all of these new terms and new speech they're trying to come out with. Look, I'm a heterosexual male. I'm not no cis. All of these things that they want to label people based off their confusion. You know what I'm saying? It's getting to a point where it's getting out of hand, and they're trying to force this on people and force people to agree with it. Like, you have to agree with it because it's part of an agenda. They're teaching it in schools. I said this the other day, like a couple years ago already. They rolled out a lesson to it in Superior, Colorado. You can look it up. They taught a lesson about this stuff to a group of first graders. What do 6-year-olds know about, you know, switching their sex or their gender? What do they know about it? That's just going to cause more confusion. Like, you're going to have little boys thinking, like, am I a girl or should I be a girl? You're going to have little girls thinking, like, am I a girl? Should I be a boy? Or what does it mean? They don't even fully know themselves yet. They didn't even start puberty. And you're going over something like this with them? I don't know. I just think it's ridiculous. And I just wanted to touch on that real quickly. You can click the like button, share. When I have time, I'll probably discuss it again, go more in depth. But I just wanted to share that real quickly. Peace and love.